I hold that Shinde faction was the real Shiv Sena political party when rival factions emerged on 21st June 2022.
The January 10 verdict by Maharashtra Assembly Speaker Rahul Narwekar was a historic decision in Maharashtra politics and for the Shiv Sena. The verdict on the MLA disqualification petitions of both the factions of Shiv Sena was finally announced after the Supreme Court had directed the Speaker in May 2023. In his pronouncement, the Speaker dismissed all petitions for MLA disqualification and made three significant verdicts. Number 1, the real Shiv Sena party belonged to the Eknath Shinde group. Number 2, appointment of the Shinde faction's Bharat Gogawale as Chief Whip. Number 3, no MLAs of either faction were disqualified. Now, on what basis did Speaker Rahul Narwekar make such vital decisions, and what's next for both factions? Let's find out. As per the Supreme Court's direction, the Speaker largely applied three tests while deciding which is the real Shiv Sena: the party's constitution, leadership structure, and legislative strength. To consider the party's constitution, the Uddhav faction submitted that the party's amended 2018 constitution should be taken into account. However, in its ruling, the Speaker said that the amended 2018 constitution could not be accepted as the last party constitution submitted to the Election Commission of India before the rival groups emerged was in 1999. The Speaker also stated that the Uddhav faction had not submitted any amended constitution on record before him. Hence, he had to consider the 1999 party constitution available on the Election Commission's website. On the leadership structure, the Speaker said that the 2018 leadership structure of the party was not in conformity with the 1999 party constitution. As per the Speaker, the 1999 constitution of the Shiv Sena made the Rashtriya Karyakarni National Executive the supreme body. Due to this, Uddhav Thackeray, who was the Paksha Pramukh, party chief as per the leadership structure of the party in 2018, was merely the presiding member of the party's Rashtriya Karyakarni. The Speaker added that the party chief's power was not absolute and had to be exercised in consultation with the national executive. However, the Speaker also added that because there was no consensus on the party's constitution and leadership structure, the only aspect for consideration was legislative strength. Now, the Speaker considered June 21, 2022 to be the date of the party's split and said that according to the records available with the Legislative Secretariat, the Shinde faction had an overwhelming majority with 37 of 55 MLAs. Thus, he declared the Shinde Sena as the real Shiv Sena. It was on this basis that Narwekar made the second significant verdict. He ruled that the Uddhav faction leader Sunil Prabhu ceased to be the party's chief whip since a rival faction had emerged, and Bharat Gogawale from the Shinde faction was validly appointed its whip on June 21, 2022. However, it is to be noted that the Supreme Court had held Gogawale's appointment as chief whip as illegal.
The decision of the Speaker recognizing Mr. Gogawale as the chief whip of the Shiv Sena is illegal because the recognition was based on the resolution of a faction of the Shiv Sena legislature party without undertaking an exercise to determine if it was the decision of the political party.
Once Bharat Gogawale's appointment as chief whip got validity from the Speaker, it made way for Narwekar to make his third significant verdict, that is on MLA disqualification. In his MLA disqualification verdict, Narwekar held all the disqualification petitions invalid. He stated that the Uddhav faction's Sunil Prabhu's tenure as chief whip ended since a rival faction emerged on June 21, 2022, and Bharat Gogawale was validly appointed as the party's chief whip. Hence, Sunil Prabhu had no authority to issue a whip. The Speaker stated that the reasons presented by the Uddhav factions against the Shinde faction MLAs were just accusations and there were no concrete evidence of whip being served on the MLAs. Therefore, the petition to disqualify the Shinde faction MLAs were dismissed. The only consolation for Uddhav Thackeray in the entire verdict was the Speaker's dismissal of the counter petitions filed by Shinde faction. The Shinde faction had sought the disqualification of MLAs belonging to the Uddhav faction. The Speaker provided similar reasons for dismissing the petition as those given previously while dismissing the disqualification petitions of the Uddhav faction. Narwekar stated that there was no clear evidence of a whip being served on Uddhav group MLAs and that it was just mere allegation. Disappointed with the verdict, Uddhav Thackeray has already decided to go to the apex court against the Speaker's ruling.
मतलब उनको मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि जो जिम्मेदारी दी गई थी वो उनके समझ में नहीं आई। मामला सीधा था, डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन का था और इसलिए हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में गए थे और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक फ्रेमवर्क दिया था क्या होना चाहिए, कैसे होना चाहिए, और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हमारा व्हिप सुनील प्रभु और गुट का नेता अजय चौधरी उसको उनकी जो हमने नियुक्ति की थी वो मान्य की थी। तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था कि इस फ्रेमवर्क में आप देखो कि उस दिन क्या था, तो उन्होंने वो छोड़कर नई अदालत उन्होंने की और सुप्रीम कोर्ट से भी कुछ अलग या ऐसे उनको लगता है कि इतनी महाशक्ति उनके पीछे है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी हमारा कुछ उनका कुछ बिगाड़ नहीं सकती। और ये तो अन्याय नहीं, उनकी समझ के बाहर का ये शायद डिसीजन था, या ऊपर से जो आया वो उन्होंने किया है।
By the time the Supreme Court gives its judgment, Eknath Shinde's Sena will be considered as a real Shiv Sena. For Uddhav Thackeray, the Lok Sabha elections followed by the state elections may be the only way to know people's verdict on which faction is the real Shiv Sena.